This isn't my story. A friend told me it happened to him. I can't stop thinking about it. So tonight, I'll share it with you, and you can decide if it's real or just a nightmare. It was a dark and rainy night. The kind of night where the trees seem to lean closer to the road, where the beams of your headlights catch more shadow than pavement. I couldn't see 5 feet in front of me. I was exhausted, driving too fast down those narrow country roads, and then they came out of nowhere, a blur of movement, a body slamming into the windshield, rolling under the car with a sound I'll never forget. Thud, crack, silence. It was over in an instant. I didn't slow down. Didn't even consider it. I know that sounds horrible, but the thought that passed through my mind was simple. His life or mine? Why should my life be ruined just because some fool was standing in the middle of the road at night? So I kept driving, hands clenched white on the wheel, eyes fixed straight ahead, as if the rearview mirror might show me something I couldn't face. When I finally reached home, I didn't hesitate. I pulled the hose from the side of the house, sprayed the car until the water ran clear. Blood washed away into the soil. Metal gleamed again in the porch light. And then I went inside. I crawled into bed, and I slept. I slept well. That was a year ago, and in all that time, I never once drove down that road again. Not until a few months ago, my wife and I were driving back from an appointment in another city. The GPS froze, the screen blinked, and when it returned, I realized we were back on that same stretch of road. I felt no guilt, no shame, just resentment. Resentment that fate had dragged me back here. Resentment that this road still existed, haunting me. Then my wife noticed something, a shape by the roadside. She pointed and asked, "Have we ever been here before?" It was a crude pyramid of stones, about waist high. I told her no, we hadn't, but my hands were already slowing the car. For reasons I can't explain, I pulled over. We stepped out into the damp night air. Up close, the pile looked deliberate, not nature, not accident. Stones carefully stacked, balanced, arranged. A marker, a monument, a grave. My wife circled it slowly, her face unreadable. She asked again, "Are you sure we've never been here?" Her tone made me uneasy. I swore to her we hadn't, and then the sound, rustling from the woods. At first I thought it was the wind, but it grew louder, heavier, and then I saw them. Figures stepping out of the tree line. At first, they looked human, but as they drew closer, their shapes became wrong. Tall, yet hunched. Bodies gaunt, skin stretched gray over bone. No clothes. And in their hands, weapons. Axes, knives, primitive, carved from stone. There were at least a dozen of them, and they were coming straight toward us. My chest locked tight. Fear rooted me to the ground. I turned to my wife, desperate to protect her, but she wasn't afraid. Not at all. Her face was calm, too calm. The leader stepped forward, his eyes hollow, his jaw slack. He grabbed my hand. Before I could pull away, he slashed my palm with his knife. The pain was sharp, burning. Blood dripped onto the stones below. He rubbed his fingers in it, smeared it on the rocks, like some kind of offering. I choked out, "What are you doing?" But he only snarled, a sound halfway between a growl and a laugh. And then, my wife moved. She stepped away from me, joined their ranks, as if she had always belonged there. Her voice was calm when she spoke.
"You've been here before,"
She said.
"I was with you when you killed one of them."
I froze. That wasn't true. I had been alone that night. But she insisted, again and again. Her eyes locked on mine with certainty. She told me to move the stones, to see what lay beneath. Hands shaking, I obeyed. One rock rolled away, then another, and beneath the pile were bones, small, fragile, the remains of a child. My wife whispered,
"You killed one of theirs, and one of mine. Blood for blood."
The feral people descended on me. Axes, knives, claws, tearing, cutting, slashing. They didn't kill me, not right away. They wanted me to suffer, to scream, to drown in my own terror, and I did. By the time the police found me, I was half buried beneath those stones, a bloody wreck, barely alive. 2 months in the hospital, multiple surgeries. Days blurred into nights, and in the haze, drifting between dreams and pain, I swear I saw her, my wife, standing at my bedside, watching, but they told me that was impossible. She had vanished the night of the attack, never seen again. I told the police everything, every detail. They didn't believe me. Of course they didn't. They searched the woods, my house, everywhere, but they found nothing. No trace of her, no trace of them. Eventually, they stopped asking questions. Life moved on, at least for them. For me, not really. Months later, I tried to rebuild some sense of normal. I even reconnected with someone from my past, an old flame. We went out. It went well enough. She came back to my place. For a few hours, it felt like life again, like maybe the nightmare was behind me. But this morning, as she was leaving, she paused. She looked at me, almost joking, and asked, "Why is there a big pile of rocks next to your driveway?"